Hi students, welcome back. Today is going to be our first lecture, and if you don't already have it, guys, this is the lecture notes. It's two-sided. You can make 2 pages if you like. What I want you to do, and you'll probably hear me say this a number of times over the next few videos, before you watch the video, please press pause and print the handout first, and we can go through it together. Also, not mandatory, but kind of my style, have a highlighter ready and highlight all the terms. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get started, guys. One of my favorite words is the first one. It's a noun. Please repeat after me. Harbinger. Harbinger. One more time. Harbinger. A harbinger is a sign or a signal. What do I have here? A person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. Let's see here. So for example, it's kind of cloudy today, which is why the video looks a little dark, but sometimes in the distance I can hear thunder rumbling. Well, thunder is a harbinger that it may soon rain. That's another example. So I feel fine now, but sometimes in the winter I'll get a sore throat, which I hate. A sore throat sometimes is a harbinger of a more serious illness, maybe coming down with a cold. What else? Students, I don't know what this is called in Korean, but when a woman is 9 months pregnant and her water breaks, I'm sure there's a name for that in Korean. I don't even know what it's called in English, but when her water breaks, this is a harbinger that her baby will soon arrive. So a harbinger, a sign, or something that signals the approach of something else. A quick example. You may not know these flowers, or maybe you recognize them but don't know their name. They're called daffodils, and they're one of the first flowers that bloom in the spring. They typically bloom in February and March, and anytime I see daffodils, I know that soon, spring will soon arrive. Everybody's favorite, cherry blossoms or buttgoat. I didn't know this, but one of my students told me that cherry blossoms is a harbinger of midterms. I thought that was really interesting. So whenever the cherry blossoms are blooming, students know that's a sign or signaling the approach of exam week. I thought that was very interesting. Let's see here. Oh, guys, on your handout, typically, just to give you my style, I'll write a brief definition, maybe 1 or 2 since sometimes they're similar, some synonyms, maybe an example sentence or 2, and I try my best to write the Korean translation, but I must be totally honest with you, my Korean is not very good, so I'm responsible for the English, and as a bonus, I do look up the word on Naver Dictionary, but sometimes I'm really afraid that I will write the wrong Korean translation. So if the translation does not match the definition or how I'm using it in the sentences, please let me know. You can help me make a better lecture in the future. Anyway, harbinger, guys, I think in Korean is Jojim. Is that correct? Jojim? Harbinger. Really good word. Okay, let's see here. Yes, okay. Next one is a verb, truncate. Please say it with me. Truncate. Very simply, students, truncate means to shorten. I'm going to move. Uncomfortable here. Okay, what is it? It's a horse. No. It's an elephant, and whenever I hear the word truncate, I always think about an elephant's trunk. I know this is kind of mean, but just to help you remember, truncate means to shorten something. It could be almost anything. What do I have here? Jamshimanyo. Let's see. Shorten something by cutting off the top or the end. But just in my own mind, truncate means to shorten. I have an example on your handout. A family emergency forced us to truncate our summer vacation. So just pretend we are on a trip to Taeguk, and my grandfather dies, something happens back in Korea or Miguk, and it's forcing us to truncate our vacation. Just means to shorten it. Okay, next one, super easy. A noun, sleuth. Please repeat after me. Sleuth. Sleuth. Sleuth, guys, very simply, means a detective. Here we have Benedict Cumberbatch. Do you like Sherlock? I do. My mom particularly likes this actor. So, but anyway, Sherlock Holmes is a sleuth, a detective. That's all it is. In Korean, tamjang. Tamjang, I think is the right word. All right, guys, moving right along. Another good one. This is a verb. Emulate. Please repeat after me. Emulate. Emulate. So, students, I will give you kind of a technical definition, but just in my own mind, when I hear the word emulate, it means to copy or imitate someone whom you admire. So what do I have here? Match or surpass a person or achievement, typically by imitation. Also in synonyms, I have model yourself on. I know it's backwards, but model yourself on. Let's see here. So for example, well, Steve Jobs. Whether you like Apple or not, some people say he was a brilliant entrepreneur, and people want to emulate his success. Maybe they don't want to be Steve Jobs the man, but they want to emulate him. Another example, it doesn't have to be someone famous. It could be someone in your family. For example, I mentioned whenever we were going over the course syllabus, my father, he was a teacher, and I really admire my father. I didn't become a teacher because he was a teacher, but looking back in hindsight, he had a great influence on me. So here's a very old photo of Scott and his dad. This was taken in Florida around 1995, I'm guessing. I'm not really sure. I had long hair then. Now I have no hair. Anyway, I admire my father, and I try to emulate him in life and in the classroom. He will never see this video, but I think he would be happy to hear that. All right, let's see here. What is emulate? Mobanghara? Mobanghara, I think is correct. So guys, when you emulate someone, you imitate them, especially with the idea of matching their success. Okay. What's next? This next one, easy and useful. It's an adjective. Alien. Take a look. Alien. Please say it with me. Alien. Good. Students, whenever I hear the word alien, I do think about flying saucer or men from space, but in this context, that's not how we're using it. Alien is anything foreign or strange. I think that's what I have here. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, drop my highlighter. Just a quick example, guys. I try to be a gentleman. I'm not perfect, but I want to be a gentleman. And through my life, I've met other men who were very aggressive, maybe even to their girlfriend or their wife, physically aggressive, or even just verbally abusive. Students, that kind of behavior is alien to me. I don't understand it. It's strange. It's just foreign to my DNA. Do you guys understand? Trying to think of another example. Oh, students, I don't have it with me. Unfortunately, I left it at my apartment, but in Korea, all foreigners are issued an alien ID card. It has a name in Korean, but I can't remember. And yeah, so alien ID card. I am, you guessed it, an alien. I am a guest in your country. All right, alien. Let's see here. Ijil Jakin? Ijil Jakin? We'll review in a moment. I know I'm going through this kind of quickly, but next one, easy. The word, it's an adjective. Please repeat after me. Ambidextrous. 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 Students, ambidextrous is being able to use both hands equally well. Are you left-handed or are you right-handed? I can barely use my right hand. I can't imagine someone being able to use both hands equally well or being ambidextrous, but sometimes, particularly teachers will meet students who have this unique ability to use both of their hands. So here's a young girl, looks like she's balancing a chemistry equation. She's writing with both of her hands. Anyway, students, that is called ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. All right, what's next? This next one, it's a verb, a good one. Expound. 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 Expound, guys, it means to explain something in greater detail or provide additional information. So, the professor was discussing some economic theory on Monday, and then on Tuesday he expounded further upon the economic principle. Do you guys understand? Anyway, expound means to explain something in greater detail or provide additional information. It's kind of the same thing. It's a good word. Expound. By the way, I'm deliberately using all of these in present tense, expound, but it could be expounding, so explaining, expounded, explained, so past, present, future. Next one, oh yes, this is a good one. Students, have you seen the Christopher Nolan movie, Inception? Again, I know it's backwards. I think this is a really cool movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Students, if you have not seen this movie, this is your homework assignment. Perhaps you have seen it. What does Inception mean? You saw the movie, so please tell me. What does Inception mean? It means the beginning. The beginning of something. What do I have on your handout? The beginning, start, or earliest stage of some process. or institution. I'm trying to think of an example. So, she has worked at the law firm since its inception. So she has worked as a lawyer at this company since it was founded, since the very beginning. Scott has taught at Hoofs since its inception. Of course, that's not true. I'm not that old, but do you guys understand? I've worked there since its inception, since the beginning. Trying to think of another example. Inception? By the way, why do they call the movie Inception? What is the movie about? For those of you who haven't seen it, it's they make these adventures and go into people's dreams, and they plant an idea, the beginning of an idea. So, if you've learned nothing else today, you know what inception means. The beginning. The beginning of something. The start, earliest stage of something. All right, a few more and we'll be done. Next one I think everyone knows. Metropolis. It's just a large city, culturally significant. By the way, students, do you recognize this city? Maybe some of you have been there. Hong Kong. How about this one? Do you recognize it? It's the Oriental Pearl Tower. Shanghai. Which do you like better? Shanghai or Hong Kong? I like both. Maybe I like Hong Kong a little bit better only because I don't have to have a visa. If I go to Shanghai, I have to get a Chinese visa, whereas Hong Kong, I get a visa on arrival, so it's just a little easier to travel there, but both are interesting. Students, metropolis, as you well know, it could be any city. New York, Paris, London. Students, do you know what a megalopolis is? A megalopolis? This is where several large cities grow together. For example, in the United States, there's New York, Boston, and Washington, D.C. These are all separate cities, but over a long time, they've grown together to become one giant city, a megalopolis. That's not on the midterm, but a good word. Another example, I think, is actually Seoul. Seoul, Suwon, Incheon. These are all separate cities, but they've been connected via the metro, and as a foreigner, it feels like one giant city. I know they're separate, but they've grown together to become a megalopolis. Again, not on the test, but just for fun. Metropolis? Juyodoshi. It's a new word for me. This next one, it's an adjective, we're almost finished. Voracious. Please say it with me. Voracious. Voracious. It means to have a big appetite, being able to eat large quantities of food, having a huge appetite. Let's see here. In Korean, I'm not sure. Ooh, this is hard. Gal Saremaknan. Let's see here. Mr. Caterpillar. They are famous for having a voracious appetite. They can eat and eat and eat. All right, last one, guys, and then we'll be done. Super easy. I think everyone knows this one. Venomous. Venomous just means poisonous. Can you think of any poisonous animals? What's the name of the snake in Indo? Yeah. Cobra. Students, I have some pictures of venomous animals. If you see any of these animals, you run. highly venomous bunnies. These are the fangs of a large spider, maybe a tarantula. A very venomous kitten. I'm not sure if this is venomous or not. This is a frog. It's poisonous to touch, but I think venomous, it has to bite you. And this is just something you shouldn't touch, so I don't want to confuse you, but anyway, last, a venomous puppy. I'm just being silly. Alright guys, let's just quickly review and then we'll stop. What is the vocabulary word for a sign, a forerunner, a person or thing that announces or signals the arrival of something else? Harbinger. Students, I want you to know that word. Harbinger. To shorten something? Truncate. Sherlock Holmes? Sleuth. Tamjang? Okay, this is a good one. It's a little different than on your handout, but copy someone whom you admire. Emulate. It's a good word. Foreign or strange? Alien. What's the vocabulary word for being able to use both hands equally well? Ambidextrous. I am not ambidextrous. Off subject, guys, but sometimes when I'm administering a test in the classroom, I'm just kind of watching students, and I notice students are like playing with their pens. You are masters at this trick. Sometimes I'm like hypnotized on a student's pen while they're twirling it during the test. Is there a class for that? Where do you learn that? I don't know. Okay, here's a good one. Christopher Nolan's Hollywood movie, the beginning of something. Inception. To explain something in greater detail. Expound. A large, culturally significant city. Metropolis. And this is not on the test, but just, what do you call it when several large cities grow together? A megalopolis. Not on the test, but a good word. Poisonous? Venomous. Alright guys, that's all I have. I'm going to keep the video short. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.